Hey everyone, today I'll be showing you how I make apple turnovers. So all you need is a pack of puff pastry sheets, 2 apples, flour, cinnamon, brown sugar, butter, salt, and regular sugar. So our first step is to cut the apples, and you're just going to want to cut them into equal sized cubes. You can decide whether or not you would like to keep the skin. I don't mind it, so I leave it on. But if you want to take the extra step in peeling the apples before you cut them, you can do that. Once you have your apples all chopped up, we can go ahead and start our filling. To a pot on medium heat, go ahead and add 2 tablespoons of butter. Once the butter is melted down and browned a little bit, we can add our apples. I always end up going back to add a little bit more of each ingredient, but it ended up being about 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon salt. Towards the end of cooking the filling, you're going to see a lot of liquid sitting at the bottom of the pot. And that's just all the melted butter, sugar, and the juice from the apples. So what I like to do is take a little bit of flour and mix that in. All that's going to do is take the liquid and turn it more into a syrupy consistency, which you're going to want to add into the turnovers later. Once everything is done cooking, go ahead and take the pot off the heat and let it cool down for a little bit. At this point, I went ahead and set my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. To prep our dough, just open up the pack of puff pastry sheets. You're going to see 2 folded up sheets. Unfold each one and cut both of them into 4 even squares. To make a turnover, take a piece of the puff pastry. I like to flatten it out a bit so that I have a little bit more room to work with. But then you add about a spoonful of the filling onto the sheet. To close it, I use the fork method, which is just taking a fork and pressing it along the edge so that it seals. And then you just repeat this process. I did not distribute my filling correctly, so I ended up with 7 instead of 8. But if you ration correctly, you will end up with 8 evenly distributed apple turnovers. Once all the turnovers are on your tray, take a small knife and put 3 ventilation holes into each one. This is a very important step because this is what allows the steam to escape each turnover in the oven. If you don't, your turnover might explode. But once you do that, go ahead and beat an egg into a bowl. And then you can brush that egg wash over each turnover. Once everything is good to go, go ahead and put your tray into the oven for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, you can pull your tray out and let it cool for a little bit. And there you have my apple turnover recipe. Thank you for watching.